How's everyone doing today? This is Noah with the Life of the Zigs coming back at you with another video on how to change your shower valve and trim and go from this to this. So let's get started. Alright, so the first thing I did here was work on the tub drain trim kit. First I removed the overfill cover and cleaned up the surrounding area. This is a single screw cover. They do have ones that have 2 screws on it, but they also make adapters for that single hole overfill as well. Once you have that old one off and cleaned up, screw the new one in. Again, it's just a Phillips head screw, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. This is probably the easiest part of the whole process. Now I'm trying to remove the actual drain trim. I used a basin wrench adapter at first, which I ended up shearing the prongs off, which you'll see me do right here. So it totally sheared them off, so they fell in the drain. I had to get them out. Then I tried the plier method, which just totally torqued my pliers, as you can see right there. So I actually went and got a tub drain removal tool, which I'll link down below, which this did the job obviously because it's a tool meant to do it, and it only cost $10 from Lowe's. So in my mind, you might as well just pick one up if you're gonna have to remove this. Once I got it moving with my pipe wrench, I just used my hand the rest of the way to unscrew it. As you can see right there, there's some plumber's putty there that I suck up and make sure to get those pieces of metal out of the drain that fell from the basin wrench, and then I just wipe down the area to clean it up. Now to install the new drain trim, I'm using plumber's putty as well. That is my preferred method to use. I wrap it around the drain and kind of press it down into place, give it a nice 45-degree angle on it. Then I hand screw it in. Once it's hand screwed in, I'm going to take the basin wrench and screw it back in fully tight with using my flathead screwdriver to give me leverage to tighten it down the rest of the way. Once it's fully tightened, make sure you clean up your area and get the excess plumber's putty out of there and put it back in the container or throw it out. On a side note here, I was lucky because this bathroom was recently redone a few years ago, so I didn't have any rusty or corroded parts to unscrew. If you do, sometimes you need some WD-40 or apply some heat underneath the tub to the area, so just remember that if you have an older bathroom. After installing the drain and overflow trim, it's time to start taking apart the shower trim. The old stuff I was taking off was made by Delta. It wasn't in the best shape, hence why I'm replacing it, but my tub spout was a screw-on tub spout using a copper pipe there, and once that was unscrewed, I took the screws out for the valve cover and then removed the shower head, which this is all pretty straightforward, and every single make they have or brand they have, it's all going to be very similar. Also, you want to be very careful while doing this not to scratch or nick up any of your tile, anything, so just make sure to take the extra time and be careful. Once all that trim was removed in the front, I went to the room behind it and found the stud and made some measurements of where I needed to cut to access where the shower head was. I was going to replace this because the shower head was pretty loose that was currently in there, and actually when I took the old one out, all it was held in there by was one single nail, which obviously loosened up over the last 20 to 30 years since the house has been around. When it came to cutting it out, I just used my multi-tool and a vacuum to limit the amount of dust that was flowing in the room, and once it was cut out, I took the piece of drywall out and was going to save it to reuse it. There's the back of the valve currently. As you can see, it's just nails holding it into place. Now the next step after doing that was to get the shower valve prepped and ready. These Moen shower valves just have standard 1/2-inch threads. I needed to put the PEX adapters on there, so I used Teflon tape and pipe dope, which is what I was taught to do when I worked as a plumber. Everyone has their own way of doing things. This way just worked the best for me. On a side note here, I got this shower valve and trim kit from Lowe's. I know some of you are going to hate against that. However, it was the best deal out there, and the valve is exactly the same as if you were to get it off a plumbing supply website or store. Once everything's all tightened and snugged down, I always like to give everything a good wipe off to prevent that pipe dope from getting everywhere. Then after that, it was time to take out the old shower valve. When it came to removing this, I used my multi-tool. I do not have a little imp cutter, as I call them. You can buy those on Amazon. I'll make sure to put them in the description down below. However, the multi-tool works perfectly fine, especially if you already have one. It does leave some rough cuts, so if you're going to solder on those cuts, you need to make sure to sand them down good and deburr them. Once all those cuts are complete, you want to make sure to get all the old plumbing you're not keeping out of there so you don't mix anything up. And I did have to make a few cuts to get the shower piping out. Once that was done, the next step here was to mount those two hot and cold lines to the structure itself because they were just floating there. Then I had to prep to solder on them so I can put those PEX adapters on there. When it comes to soldering, you want to make sure to clean and rough up both the fitting and the pipe, and you also want to make sure you put flux on both sides. Then you want to slide it on, heat up the pipe for a little bit, and then start rubbing your solder around, and eventually it'll go liquid form and get into all the nooks and crannies, but just make sure you rub that solder wire all over the area. Once those fittings are on, make sure the area cools before you start putting PEX on. I'm just using type B PEX with some stainless steel crimp rings and getting those valves on so I can turn the water back on. Now moving on to setting some stuff up for mounting stuff. I needed to cut a 1x4 and a couple 2x4s to mount the shower valve to, and the 1x4 to mount the stub out for the tub spout to. Right there I'm drilling the hole for this tub spout, and then I'm going to cut some pocket holes for all the 2x4s and the 1x4s. I feel like the pocket hole jig works best to get those screws sunk nice and deep into your wood without splitting anything. Once those pocket holes were done, it was time to move on to mounting the stub out to that 1x4. Once that was mounted, I went back up and started to frame out with all those 2x4s I cut. I put the one 2x4 in a vertical direction and then the stub out in the horizontal direction and mounted it to both sides of the 2x4s so it had a nice firm base and that it wouldn't be wobbly whatsoever. I also threw a Mickey Mouse, is what I call it, over it and screwed that into place to give it some extra strength there as it was a little loose. Now moving on to the shower valve and mounting that to the other 2x4 I made. I obviously stuck it in the hole and made some measurements, so that's where I know where to drill it in place. And once I screw that valve into place, I needed to do some piping to it as I wouldn't be able to access the valve once it was mounted to the other 2x4s. This is a fairly simple process to do. Sometimes you do need to hold the valve up to where it's supposed to be and make some measurements with your tape measure, but this is PEX, so it's a very forgiving material, and obviously it's cheap, so if you need to cut it off and make another cut, it's not that big of a deal. Also, with this color-coded PEX, you want to make sure you're hooking the right colors to the right side. Rule of thumb, it should always be hot on the left and cold on the right if it's facing you the correct way, so that's why the red is on the left and the blue is on the right. Once all that piping was done and everything was crimped, it was time to slide the valve up and slide those two main lines down to those valves and crimp them in place, as well as crimp the line for the tub spout in place. Again, I'm using pocket hole screws to screw it in place and trying to level it out with my hand. Now I needed to remove the old 2x4 that was holding the shower head. I used my multi-tool again and ripped it out. Once that was ripped out, I moved on to installing the trim for the valve, and just to make sure that it fit good. The cover for this valve is just two Phillips head screws. You screw it in and get it nice and snug. So that was done. With these Moens, you need to put in a temperature selector that goes behind the valve. It lets you set the temperature for how hot you want it to get. Once that's installed, you need to put the black piece on top of that, which is what stops the valve from going too far, and then you need to put a Phillips head screw to screw it in tight. Then you slap the handle on and use the Allen key provided to screw a screw up in there to hold that handle in place. Now moving back onto the shower head, I needed to make a 2x4, so I had bracing for the shower head, which I then screwed some pocket holes in it, and then I mounted the shower head directly to it with some screws, and also screwed in a galvanized nipple so that I knew I was lined up in the right place when I mounted it in the wall. Same process here with the other 2x4, slide it in place, then take my screw gun with some pocket hole screws, screw it into place. Also make sure the nipple's nice and level coming out of the wall. Unscrew that nipple and then screw in the shower head arm, and make sure you put some Teflon tape on that and some pipe dope as well. I use pliers to kind of snug it down because that escutcheon will cover any defects I put in it with the pliers. Now moving on to the piping, slide that PEX piping up there, slide it on the shower head adapter, and make sure you give it a good crimp. Moving on to the tub spout, I use the copper pipe method with sweating on a male adapter. It will give you the right length you need in the manual. I just did a test fit there. Again, like I said with soldering, make sure you clean everything good and put that flux on and then heat your pipe up and put your solder around it. Also make sure to have some sort of cardboard or something to catch any debris that comes off that when you're soldering, and open the valve to get any gunk out. I used some Lexel to seal up the back there so that no water would seep behind there if there was ever a leak in it, or if any water ever got on that tile and dripped down. After that, it was time to mount the tub spout. All you need to do is wrap some Teflon tape around the male adapter a couple times and screw the tub spout in place and make sure that it's nice and level and snug up against the wall. Last but not least, you need to screw in the shower head. It does have a rubber gasket in there, so you don't need to put any Teflon tape on it. And don't forget to attach and screw in the handheld sprayer as well. With that being said, guys, this video is coming to an end. Don't forget to seal up any holes you made in the back wall or put an access panel. That's what I highly recommend to do if you can. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a good day.